Not very much anymore because my body's like, I'm getting old. I'm 48, but um, I can still, you know, I can still do a little bit, enough to scare somebody usually
Hey,
if
there's
need be.
there's there's nothing wrong with that. I'm 36. I must be 37 in a half a year.
Yeah,
You know, body's deteriorating over time, but I still know how
that's
to.
around the time when mine started. I mean, about 38 is
Yeah,
when I started having the big issues.
I mean, I
Before that, I was perfectly fine.
I mean, I know how to handle my own. I mean, I know how to defend myself if need be. I'm
Yeah,
not scared to get an ass whooping, but
yeah,
I'm gonna try my best to walk away from it. It's like my dad always told me. He says it takes a bigger man to walk away from a fight than it is to fight a fight.
that's true. That's true.
So it's
Yeah,
like I love.
I do that. I stop fights more than I fight, more than I make them.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't ever make a fight, but I will stop a fight
right.
and I'll walk away from them.
I mean, it's I've I've learned a lot from my dad. I mean, my dad has
Yeah,
taught me everything I've known, from working on cars to, doing roofing to farming to hunting, anything
nice.
that anything a man needs to learn in life, he's taught me, just like he's taught me how to, provide for the family, go
Yep,
out there and hustle for money to provide. He says you
yep,
might not be good at doing something, but you need to have the mentality to go out there and do it.
yep.
He says
You're
if
right.
you can do it, you can accomplish the world.
He's right.
So, and
And don't. I'll tell you one other thing though. A lot of people get hung up on where they're at, thinking that that is the extent of what they can do.
right,
Don't ever believe that. That is a myth. You can literally accomplish anything you put your mind to. Anything you want to do, you can do.
exactly, exactly. I mean,
I didn't believe it at first. I thought I was trapped. My buddy started getting me into computers and was like, because I thought I was trapped in working as a mechanic. I was very good at it, but I didn't really enjoy it.
right,
Right? I enjoyed working on cars, but I didn't enjoy being a mechanic for a living. Right?
right,
There's a big difference. And he got me into computers, and it's like it took me a long time to work my way up into it, and it was a hard road. But man, I got here, and it's like, yeah, no, I'm not trapped. I can do. That opened my eyes to know that if I really had a passion for something, I know I could do it.
right.
You know?
It's like, with me, if my mom, my dad, or one of my brothers, my brother or my sisters, or a really good friend of mine, I look out as a brother or, any family member and be like, hey, I need help. All right,
Yeah.
cool. What do you need help with?
Yep.
I'm like, all right, I'm there. I'm like, I can do anything if I put my mind
There's
to it, and I'm really, really good with my hands.
there's
Um,
so am I. I'm very good with my hands, and there is nothing wrong with asking for help.
mm-mm,
Anybody who tells you otherwise is wrong.
yeah,
There's nothing wrong with asking for help.
I
Everybody
mean,
needs a little help from time to time. We were all taught by other humans, every one
exactly,
of us.
exactly. I mean, you might be ashamed for for asking for help, or you know, it's not in your coding of the
Yeah.
way you were taught. But
Yep.
yeah, like you said, everybody needs help from doing something or with anything. It's just It is what it
The
is. I
wild
mean,
has a hard time with it, you know. So does her mom,
which
but
is understandable.
you know, they're very
There's,
independent people.
yeah, there's people out there who are very independent, who like to do
Mhm.
things on their own. Which I'm independent.
Yeah, so am I.
You know,
I am too. I just learned my lesson, you know.
which is yeah, yeah, which is understandable. But on the same sense, you're a very independent person. You're not asking for help, but people are handing things to you. Like somebody, I didn't ask for any help. I'm like, okay, I need to go do this. I need to go do that. Then all of a sudden, I come home and things are done. I'm like, you just kind of took my task away from me. Like
Yep.
I had my mind set on doing that because I know I needed to get done. I'm like, I don't know how to react to that.
Undo that. Yeah.
It's happened to me multiple times in my lifetime, and I'm like, how do I do
Just be grateful, say thank you, and move on.
exactly?
You know, it's tough sometimes. It really is, and I understand that. I'm very much a giving person.
I am too.
You
I,
know.
I remember, my late 20s, early 30s. This is when, Walmart was open 24/7. I was
Yep.
just back before COVID hit. Like, I can
Yep.
go out there and just hop in the car and just drive at like midnight, to daybreak and just help out anybody who needed help, who was broke down on the side of the road. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Help them out. Get them limped home, or hook a tow rope up to them. I'm like, hey, I'll get you to a destination where you're safer instead of sitting on the side of the road. I'm just
Yep.
like,
That's really good of you.
it's like there's been cases where I could go into Walmart or a restaurant or a store or something. You got the panhandlers out there begging for money. Which there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm not. I I, I
I tend
feel
not to go for them too much.
right. I don't want to. I I have a really um, good judge of character, so
Yeah.
I know when somebody's doing it just for the money, or if somebody actually does need it, or they're going to use it for drugs or alcohol.
Yeah.
And I kind of look, I'm like, okay, you look too clean to be homeless.
Yeah.
Like you're wearing really nice Jordans and or really nice Reebok clothing or naming clothing. I'm like, you're too nice to be homeless. Now, if it's the same, if it's, you know, somebody out there in brags or they look halfway decent, they got looks like their whole life savings on their book bag, or in their book bag, there's a good chance that person's homeless.
Yeah.
He's looking for work or he's looking just for a bite to eat. And 9 times out of 10, if I see that kind of person, I'm like, dude, are you hungry? If you are,
Yep.
let's go get something to eat. I'm not giving you
Yep.
money. I'll go get you something to eat. Or we can go to
Yep.
Walmart and I can get you some, a couple things of oodles and noodles or a couple things of ravioli or something. Something that's not going to go bad. So,
We had a friend recently who I found out um, has been homeless for a little while, and I didn't know it. And they had a place to stay, he and his girlfriend, but they got kicked out the other day,
mm,
and they were going to be out on the street that night. They had a hotel for the night after that they could afford, but they couldn't afford it for that night. So Wild and I talked to him, and I ended up paying for that hotel that night for them, so they wouldn't be out in the street in the cold in their city. So
which, I guess you could say I have a heart of gold. Um, I'll do anything for anybody. I'll give somebody the shirt off my back if they absolutely needed it. If you come to
yep.
my house and you're hungry, cool. Let me make you
Feed
something to
them.
eat. You know,
Yep,
if
exactly.
if you're tired, pick a spot to go to sleep on. I'm like,
Yep.
my biggest thing is just don't take advantage of me. Um,
Yeah.
I've had like years ago, I had um a guy. He was staying in a rundown RV. Like when it rained, it was raining inside the RV. And I'm like, nah, dude. And I'm like,
Oh wow.
I'm like, dude, you come stay with me. $300 a month. You know, you're making a decent job. It's not the best job in the world, but you know, it's a decent job. You're working for a tow company. I'm like, you just come stay with me. You take care. You know, you take care of you. Blah blah blah. I'm like, everything's good. And well, he did. A few weeks after he moved in, he quit his job, and this
Oh.
is then you know as soon as he moved in, and the whole scenario is when COVID hit. So I
Oh
couldn't
no.
so I couldn't kick him out
Yeah.
because they had that law or policy written up is if somebody's staying with you, you can't evict them. So I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh man,
So he basically got you in that regard.
yeah, he got me, and you know he owed me bukus of money on rent and me driving him to different stores, buying his food, buying his cigarettes, and it was like, man, this is just wrong. This is
Yeah.
just wrong. Then
Yeah, that's too much.
then COVID lifted, and I was like, dude, you got to go. I'm like,
Yeah.
I love you as a person. You're a cool dude, but I can't sit here and take care of you when we're not sleeping together.
Yep.
I'm like, it'd be different if you give me that piece of ass, but no, you're not. I'm like, I'm not, I don't swing that way. So
Yep.
he was a little heartbroken about it, but I'm like,
Well, that was to the point of taking advantage of you.
exactly, exactly.
It's like there's you help somebody out, and as long as they have good intentions, they're doing the best that they can. Like for me, if I see they're doing the best they can, I'll help them out. If I see that they're starting to take advantage, no, I stop.
It was like, I had, uh, I had one chick that stayed with me. Um, she was an all right person. She was okay. You know, she was a drunk, but she was okay.
Okay.
But it got to the point where she was always drinking, which is understandable for a drunk, but starting fights over stupid stuff,
Oh,
and it was like,
so her behavior's got a little out of hand then.
the behavior was a little out of hand, and as a person, when she was sober, she was cool, she was okay, but as a
Yeah.
drunk, it was a completely different ball game. It was like, I can't sit down and have a conversation with you. I can't have, I can't bring my people over to have a cookout or a barbecue because you're disrespecting me by getting into everybody's faces. And I'm like, this is my house. This isn't your house.
Yeah.
So that didn't end well. So that was fun. Um, I had some nut cases. There was one person. I looked at her as a sister growing up, and after the issue that me and her had, because she was about to be homeless and she needed a place to stay. And I was like, all right,
Right.
cool. I'm like, I got the master bedroom. You take the front room. I'm like, you just do your thing. Just keep it cordial. Just keep it civil. Everything will be fine. Which I was
Yep.
dating. I was dating a chick at the time, and Chick was coming and going, you know, because she was working her own thing and she had her own house, but she was coming over, to, you know, just to visit and whatnot. And when she was over, when she was taking care of the dogs, my dog and whatnot, well, actually my dogs, um, she noticed a few things that didn't sit right with me. So I said something about it,
Okay.
and it blew out of proportion.
Oh,
And I was like, I known this girl like my whole life, and she's not the kind of chick that will sleep with anybody.
right.
But it got to the point where she had a different guy every night at my house,
Oh, wow.
and it was like, this is throwing some red flags.
Well,
I'm like, this is kind of wrong. I'm like, you're inviting different dudes, you know, different guys over to my house where I got valuables, my own
yep.
personal valuables that I don't want missing. Like I
Yep.
had guns all over the house that I had like secret stashes where they were at, and I'm like, you're lucky none of my guns are missing. You're lucky none of my valuables are missing because I would press charges against you and him for, you know, theft.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it's like with me, it's like I host all these servers, right?
mm-hmm.
But all of the servers that I host, I built and they're sitting in my house.
Right.
And each one of the Threadrippers, which I've got three Threadrippers, are about $5,000 each. They're $5,000 builds
Right.
without graphics cards. And it's like, I don't trust too many people to walk in my house because of those computers
No, I
and
don't
because
blame
of
you.
what happens in this house. It's like, I got to be very careful with who I let in my house. And they've got to be somebody that I think is reputable
Mm-hmm.
or that I trust, you know? And as far as someone staying at my house, it's like, I have to know them.
Right.
I have to trust them for that. It's like Wild, I trust. I'm good with her. You know, she's more than welcome here. Other people, I don't know. It's difficult to get me to trust them because of what I have in the house right now.
Well, which is completely understandable. That's stuff that you saved up for and that you built on
Yeah,
your own personal dime and your own personal time. That you know those are your pride and joy. And you know if they get stolen or if they go missing, you're not gonna make the insurance money is not going to reimburse you the full amount of money that you got into them. So it's
no, it won't, and
and
I
it,
would lose. It would lose big time.
yeah, you would lose big time. On top of that, you would be missing out on, you know,
Hosting for my communities and everything.
right. That's
Big.
downtime that you can't afford.
Nope.
And, you know, yeah, I get it. I get it. I mean, I've had my house broken into twice. Um,
Yeah.
one time, a lot of my stuff was stolen. The second time, they got ran off because I had people watching the house while I was on vacation. So
Okay.
they broke into the house a little bit before the people were coming over to take care of the house to let the dogs out. So they didn't get all the way in, but they got spooked. So I was
Yeah.
like, all right, cool. So now people know not to mess with me or my belongings because somebody's always watching my house even though there's not a car there.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's good.
like with me, I'm like, I'm not here to do nobody any wrong. Like,
Yeah, I'm not either.
I'm
But it's
here.
not. It's not something I don't want to do.
No, I mean, I know how it feels. I know how it feels to, to be cheated on and, lied to and stole from. So it's like, well, why would I wish anything upon somebody that that is wrong?
Yeah.
So,
No, I feel the same way.
I grew up, in the Bible Belt. I've been to church. I believe in a higher power. I believe in the good Lord. So it's like, what you want done to you, you should do upon others. So
Yeah.
the
Yep.
big old
I do
golden
agree with that.
rule.
Yep. I grew up a church going guy too, and God fearing man. I just I don't go to church these days, but that doesn't mean I don't believe.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. I mean, it's like every church that I go to that I've ever been to in the past couple years, um, the pastor and the people of the church, they look down on me because of the way I dress or the vehicle that I drive or um, like of me asking questions in church. Like going to a pastor, I'm like, hey, I'm like, I have questions about this, this, and this that's in the Bible. Can you state, can you give me an interpretation on it? Because I'm getting the impression it means something else. And, they judge me because of it. I've
Oh,
always, I was like, I've always been raised that if you have questions you don't understand,
yeah.
ask.
You don't judge somebody for it. You talk to them about it, and you help them understand it.
Right. It was like, me and my wife, we went to a church with one of the guys from work and his wife and the pastor and the wife and a lot of the people in the church were judging me on judging me on my vehicle that I drove because the Camaro, it wasn't the best looking car in the world, but it
Yeah.
was it was a built car. It's something that I had pride and joy into,
Yeah.
and there was a there was a lady there. She's a little older than me, and she believes she believes in God. She believes in the higher power. Of the miracles that the Jesus has done, and but her her wardrobe, it's more of a goth, all the dark clothing and stuff like that, and they were judging her because of the way she dressed.
Oh.
And they're like, "Oh, if we didn't love you, you wouldn't be allowed here because of your your half top shirts that you wore or your skirts that you wore." It was like I looked at
That's
it.
not right.
I looked at her outfit. There was nothing wrong with her outfit. Like her bosom was covered up. I mean, yes, her shirts were a little cut low, but it wasn't revealing.
Yeah.
I mean, why you judging a 40-year-old or 42, 43-year-old woman of her lifestyle or her wardrobe, but you got 14, 15-year-old girls who are coming into church wearing mini skirts that
Yeah.
are showing the butt cheeks. I'm like, something's not adding up here.
Mm-mm.
So,
That sounds like hypocritical nature right there. I
yeah.
don't like that.
And it's
That's
like,
one of the reasons why I'm not in church. It's like I believe I'm very spiritual, but I don't necessarily. I believe that humans kind of corrupt it a little bit,
right.
and church is some of them are very good. I do believe that there are good ones out there,
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
and
they
there are
are.
very good people out there, and everybody's trying to learn. But some people go in there and they take it too far, and
Ex-
those are the people I try to avoid.
exactly. Exactly. It's like,
You know?
I grew up as a Baptist, and seeing
I
my
had a
old,
friend that was a Baptist.
it's like I seen the old pastor that that I grew up going to church with, which I was a deacon.
Okay.
So, uh, well, I mean, would it be considered as a deacon or an usher? I was one of the guys, Sunday morning, I was in the back in a really nice suit, with the
Uh-huh.
offering plate, I was with the older guys, just relaxing with them and, you know,
You were at a minimum an usher.
you're right.
Nothing
So,
else. That's you were helping. That
yeah,
was good.
I was
That
helping
was
the
very good.
church. And later on, growing up, I found out, okay, where, like, my church, or my old church rather, it was whoever was the primary pastor, there was a housing for the pastor.
Okay.
So if the pastor left the church, he would have to move his belongings out of the churching house and find
Yeah.
another place to stay. That way, the
Okay.
pastor would have a place for his family and for him to stay on church grounds.
Right.
Um, well, the pastor that we had when I was growing up, when he retired, he took the money from the church to buy the house out where he didn't have to
Oh,
move. And it kind of hit me in a way because that house was for the church,
yeah. That's a
not
see
for
where he's.
him.
Yeah.
So I've had my fair share of some bad churches where I didn't feel comfortable in. The most recent one that I was in was the one that I was with. Went with the guy that I worked with, and that church was more of a cult than an actual church.
Oh.
Like you had to pray a certain way, for a month, a given month out of the year, you were on uh, a special diet.
Mm-mm.
And one of the main things they took out in that month was protein. And a
Oh,
lot
that's terrible.
and a lot of people that I know, they survive on protein. If not, it gets them
Yeah.
sick.
I do too.
And I
I'm
started
diabetic.
right. And I started looking into it that the what do they call it? The fasting. They call it fasting. And
Yeah. You
the
do it for a month.
right, and this church is way, their way of they were doing fasting of non protein was actually a an old military brainwash
Oh.
where they remove protein out of the diet where it's easier to control the human mind.
Oh, brother.
And I started looking into, the church and the more fundamentals of the church, and I'm like, yeah, this church isn't for me.
No. Yeah. You got to be careful with the churches out there because some of them they got the wrong intentions.
Mm-hmm. And it's
That's
like,
one of the reasons why I don't go, and I haven't really looked for them. It's like I don't know. I don't want to fall into those kind of traps.
I don't either. And it's like I told my wife, I'm like, if I do go church hunting, it's gonna be more. I go to a church to look out for it, to see if there's any red flags that pop up. I see how the people are interactive with newcomers or other people. Like my
Yeah.
first couple times me going to church, or even a month or two of me going to church, I'm I'm paying attention what's going on around me.
Yeah.
Because if something doesn't sit right, I'm not going to go back to that church.
Yeah. And that's understandable.
So,
You need to be a little leery. There's the human element in it, you know.
exactly, exactly.
And
Then,
we're all human. We all make mistakes, but at the same time, it's like,
of
you know, you have
course,
to be you have to be mindful of that.
of course. I mean, we're all human. We're all given the the power of free will, but a lot of people they take the free will too far,
Yeah.
and you know, and it's like I think it was two churches that I've been to, and their their whole sermon and their whole lifestyle in the church is, it's all about Jesus. It's Jesus this, Jesus that, Jesus this, Jesus did that, Jesus did this. And I'm like, okay, what about God Himself?
Yep.
Where's He at in the picture? I'm like, do you pray to God? To be like, no, we pray to Jesus. I'm not going to pray to Jesus. I'm going to pray to God. I'm going to pray to the Father, not the Son.
Yep. So am I.
I'm like, if I need something, I'm going to go straight to the source and not a son. I mean, even though, they're together, but God has more power than his son does. So, and a lot of these newer churches don't believe that. And it's like,
Wow.
this is kind of like a red flag for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, to each their own, but it's
Yeah.
but it's not for me.
Yep. And that's where you have to make your own decisions on that, you know.
Mhm. I mean,
And it's
it's
important to do that.
I mean,
Follow your faith.
exactly, exactly. I mean, it's just like I got a guy that I work with. I mean, he can hate me all he wants. I mean, he really can. I mean, I don't hold grudges. I really don't. I
Mm.
was raised not to hold grudges.
Yeah, I try
Um,
not to.
but I'm the kind of person where I'm going to speak my mind. And if I
Okay.
don't feel comfortable with something, I'm going to speak my mind. And there's been multiple cases with this individual that it didn't sit right. Like, me and my wife, we realized that this person was using us for
Uh,
anything that he can use us for. Like, we went over there and helped him move. Not a big deal. I don't mind helping somebody move. It's easy. Then at the end of the day, me helping this individual move, he shoos us out the door. No hi, bye, thank you, ma'am, no nothing. No gas money to
what?
helping him. Exactly. And I'm like, okay.
Wow.
I'm like, okay. Then he hit me up. I work with this individual. He hits me up. He was like, "Hey man, can you work on my car?" I'm like,
Good.
"Yeah,
No,
sure." I'm like,
I'm
"Yeah,
busy.
sure. Not a problem. I don't mind working on your car." Well, he messaged me. He comes up to me. He was like, "Hey man," he says, "Can you do it in the morning?" I'm like, "Yeah, we can work on your car." I'm like, "Yes, we can work on your car in the morning." I says, "I still got to
There you
work
go.
on my own car."
Yeah.
And this is a Monday. We just worked a 3-day weekend, 12-hour
Oh wow.
shifts. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's 36 hours and 3 days. Wow.
I'm like, yeah, we can work on it. So he comes to the house. I already got my tools laid out, everything he needs. I'm like, all right, this is what you need. He says, are you going to do it for me? No, I'm not going to do it for you. I will show you what needs to be done,
Yep.
but I'm not going to do it for you. He'll be like, why? I says, for the simple fact that the parts that you need to replace, I told you that you needed them 8 months ago.
Yep.
And I've been telling you every week to get those parts that we can change them out before it gets too bad. but you don't. You want to procrastinate on the situation.
Yeah. And then he wants you to do it for him.
Exactly. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm not going to do your job for you and not get paid for it.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't blame you.
he had he had a butt case attitude about that. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. You know, it'll pass. And I'm like, I'm not holding no grudges towards you. I'm like, if you want to be mad at me, you be mad at me. Then, you know, a little while later, he started being, you know, friendly, buddy with me, which was not a problem. He'd come up and be like, hey, man, you want to go out there and go shooting? You know, cool, not a problem. We'll go out there and go shooting. I got the land. Let's go do it. Then, here recently, you know, he just had a baby. Okay,
Okay.
cool. You have a baby. Hey, that's more power to you. You know,
Yeah. It's baked in.
we need more precious people in the world. We need more bundles of joy in the world. You know, we need the population to grow. You know, it's that's amazing. But
Yeah.
during his whole wife's pregnancy, uh, barely helped out his wife at all.
What?
Mainly just slept and played video games.
Mm-mm.
So,
No.
me being me, I spoke my mind.
Yeah.
I told him that he was a. I told him, excuse my French, but I told him he was a piece of shit father or a piece of shit husband for doing that.
Yeah.
Well, he got mad at me, and I was like, well, okay, you want to be mad at me? Be mad at me. I don't care. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's plenty of people out there in the world who want to be friends with me, even though I'm blunt.
Yeah.
And he didn't like it, so he shut his mouth for a little bit. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, he had the baby. You know, I was like, hey man, you know, congratulations on having the baby. I was just, I'm happy for you. You know, that's amazing. You know, you got something that you can look forward to. You know, then it was like 2 months after the baby was born. He was like, me and another guy, we were joking at work, and you know, buddy of mine, he looked over to the guy who just had the baby, and he was like, yeah. He says, let me get the, he says, let me get your shades. He says, I really want your shades. He was like, yeah, you can have them for 250. I'm like, why are you gonna charge a man $250 for a pair of shades that you can get for 10, 15 bucks at Walmart?
Yeah. No doubt.
I'm like, what sense is that? Here's this. Oh, these have sentimental value. You know, they have sentimental value on them. I'm like, what sentimental
Huh.
value do they have that's worth $250? I'm like, were they given to you from, you know, a lost relative or what? He was just, oh no, I just had these since high school.
I just be like, no thanks.
I'm like, all right,
Pass.
cool. Then he was like, yeah, he says, you know, then it's inconvenient for me to go to the store. I'm like, how is it inconvenient for you to go to the store to buy a pair of shades if you're already at the store buying groceries?
Yeah.
Here's this. Oh, I don't go to the store to buy groceries. I have all my groceries sent to the house. I'm like, okay, which is, you know, which is fine.
Yeah. So I had the sunglasses into the house too.
I'm like, you know, which is, you know, which is fine. You know, there's not a problem with that. I says, the way I'm looking at it is, you know, if that's the way you want to live, I mean, hey, that's fine. But I grew up in a family of, you know, my mother, my dad, an older sister, a little brother, and two little sisters. You know, a family of seven. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no matter what age us kids were at, my mom and dad took us into the store. Don't matter if
Yeah.
we were a newborn or we were 9, 10, 11 years old acting a fool in the store. We got our butt whooped in store.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, you need to get your child out in the world instead of having the child sheltered its whole life.
Hmm.
And he was like, well, I'm just going to raise my kid the way I want to raise my kid. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, which is fine. I says, I'm looking out for you and your child and your wife because I don't want y'all to raise that kid to be sheltered where it can't get the natural immune system that it needs from the world.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
And I was like, I was growing up. I says, we went everywhere. He was like, so you're telling me I'm a horrible father for doing that? I says, no, I'm not telling that you're a horrible father for doing that. I says, but you do need to get some kind of immune system in that child's life, like antibodies and stuff like that, infections that way he can grow up into a a healthy young adult and live a normal life, a really good life. He was just, oh, I'm just gonna raise the kid the way I want to raise, and if anybody has a problem with it, blah blah blah. I'm like, for that right there, I'm calling you a horrible father. I'm like, if you don't like it, you can kiss my ass.
Yep.
So, no, ever since then, dude don't speak to me. If he does, it's very very kind of blunt and very rude. And I'm like, eh, I'm not gonna hold no grudges. I'm like, I'm not mad about it. It is what it is. It's
Yep.
like it's like
You
I had it.
shared your opinion. He shared his. It's like the fact of the matter is, he's not doing his kid any favors by
No,
keeping his kid sheltered in the house. And
exactly.
you're just trying to help him understand that. And he
Exa-
decided not to listen, and that's his choice, But it's like the kid's going to suffer for that.
exactly.
That's the whole thing. It's like it's not him that's going to suffer for it necessarily, it's the kid that's going to suffer for it in the
Exactly.
long run. And he's not thinking of the kid. It's like you do need to get those kids out and about, you know. They need to be doing something, and as they grow up, they need to be on more than just the computer too,
Exactly.
more than just electronics. They need to interact with people. It's like, yeah, you can interact with people on a computer, but if that's the only thing you do, you will lock up when you go face to face with somebody, you know? And
It,
that's how this world is lived.
you're not lying. Like
So,
like my wife, she can come up to me. Me and her can be out and be out and about in the stores. We can be on the road somewhere, and you know, or we could be sitting here at the house, and somebody just, some random person just comes over. Starts asking me about cars. Having work done. Something simple. Or we could be out and about, and you know, I can go up there to an elderly lady or an elderly man, or and just carry a conversation, just start a conversation about their day and whatnot. She says, my wife will look at me. She says, "How can you do that?" I'm like, "I'm not stuck in my phone." I'm like, I was raised where we didn't have electronics like that growing up. I says, I didn't
yeah.
get my first cell phone until I was 18, 19 years old. I'm like,
Uh,
we had computers, we had game systems and stuff, you know, growing up, but we were limited to game systems an hour or 30 minutes to an hour a day per child, and there was 5 kids. So
yeah.
we were limited. If you know 2 or 3 kids wants to play on the computer, and the other kids wanted to play on the Xbox or the PlayStation or the Nintendo Wii or whatever we had growing up, we were limited to that. But we also had chores that need to be done. We also had um, uh, schoolwork that needed to be done. And
Yeah.
after chores and schoolwork was done, our butts were outside playing, interacting with the
Yeah.
neighbors, you know,
Was
helping,
too growing up.
helping other people out. So it's like looking at the young kids now, and looking how they're raised and the parenting that's going on, it's a big shame. It's like we were never taught that. We were never raised that. Why are
Yeah.
you gonna let your child be a complete brat and complete so undisciplined where they're not even able to control their child? I'm like,
Yeah.
you look at it, the child is literally raising the parent, and it's
Yep.
wrong. That's like the good book
Yep.
says, honor their father and their mother. Honor their father and their mother. It's like that's been thrown
Yeah.
out
A
the
lot of kids
window.
nowadays aren't doing that.
Yeah, it's like that's
Yeah.
completely thrown out the window. So I mean,
Yeah.
I've I could do
When
just
I was
about.
younger, I was a little honored, but nowadays it's like I honor my mother and father.
I mean,
I learned over the years.
I was a hellion growing up. I was a rebel. Smoking cigarettes at 16, 17 years old. Parents catching me. I've you know I've been caught. Uh, nothing majorly
Yeah, I didn't do
criminal.
anything majorly bad,
Yeah,
really. I did one thing bad, but I got punished for it,
I mean,
and
mine
I learned my
wasn't.
lesson.
Yeah,
It's like,
mine wasn't majorly where, oh, I'm gonna go serve jail time or anything like that. Nah, my dad did the
yeah,
old school way, like, okay, you did this, I'm gonna scare you straight. I'm gonna
yep,
drop your ass off at a detention center, not like a juvenile detention center. No, my dad dropped me down to a federal penitentiary. He'd be like, here, you're gonna stay here.
oh shit,
And when he dropped me off, I'm like, nah, dad, I'll do better. I'll do better.
yep,
So, yeah, my mom and dad were
yep.
hard on me. It was like, I remember one time, I was 15, 16 years old.
Uh-huh.
Um, I backtalked my mother. Like, I just straight up just backtalked my mother.
I did that to my grandmother, and boy, did I get it for that.
Oh, my mom came up to me. She grabbed me by my shirt collar. She pinned my ass against the wall. She
Yep.
hit me one good time across the face. I looked at her, and my exact words were, that felt good. Do it again.
Yeah, I said something like that to my mom, and yeah, that was the wrong
Oh,
move.
man. When those words came out of my mouth, my dad was walking across. He heard it, and he got a hold of my tail. Mm.
Oh, damn. See, my grandpa, and he never did it to me, thankfully. I was very fortunate because I wasn't, when I was living with him and he was alive, I wasn't that bad. But he'd make you go out in the back and pick a switch.
Oh, my grandma was that way. Oh, my
And if
grandmother was
you
that
did
way.
not pick one that he was satisfied with, he would go pick one for you, and you damn well weren't going to be happy with it. Yeah.
I mean,
It wasn't enough to scare you to not want to do anything. I mean, I love
right.
my grandpa, and he loved me dearly. There wasn't any issues there.
My
But you didn't
grandmother
cross him.
my grandmother was that way too. I love her to death. I love her to death. I mean,
Yeah.
I lost her in January. She was my heart and soul, and it's like, and she told me stories. My dad and my aunt told me stories growing up that when they got when they got punished, they got whooped with
Oh,
anything
sorry.
they got whooped with anything that was in my grandmother's hand. From a
Mm.
frying pan to a paddle to a spatula to a spoon to
Holy
a
shit.
slipper to a to a mop. That's
They
what they
used
get.
paddles on me. My
That's what they
mom
got
used
as
paddle
whoop.
on me.
So, and I'm
My
like,
grandma one time was paddling me. That's when I told her, yeah, it doesn't hurt. She's like, boy, I'm gonna kick your little ass. Oh, she went off, and then she really laid into me.
I mean, well,
It's well deserved, though.
it
You
is.
know?
I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, the way we were disciplined as children helped us grow up
To be respectful.
to be the respectful and the caring and the kind and loving people that we are today.
Yes.
Now, since we grew up, and especially me, since I grew up, and the courts and the law, and they took the discipline like that away from the parents.
Yeah, which I don't agree with.
It
I don't
makes
agree with beating your child and hurting them too bad, but I mean, it's like they need to have repercussions that they will understand. And at those ages, it's like they don't understand talking to them.
exactly. It's like,
You know?
what are you accomplishing by taking your child's game system away for a day or so? Nothing.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? They're going to go find something else to do, and you're not really teaching them anything. Like, I
Yeah.
remember growing up, if I didn't get my butt whooped, my tail end, my nose was sitting in a corner,
Yep. I
and
had
I
to do that
was
too.
and I was staying there until it was supper time or it was bedtime.
Yeah.
So then, in that whole time, you're sitting in the corner, you're thinking, you're like, man, what the fuck did I just do wrong? I did that. What am I going to do to make it better? What did I
Yeah,
learn
exactly.
from
What am
this?
I gonna do next time?
And
Yep.
it's not like, oh, I'm gonna sit here in this corner and think how not to get caught next time. No, it don't work that way because your parents
Uh-uh.
did what you did. They
Yep.
know.
They were smarter than you. That's right. They know the shit you're trying to do and what you're trying to get across. And as soon as you figure that out, it's like, okay, I just, I gotta stop.
I can't do that because I'm gonna get my butt whooped. I'm gonna get punished. I don't want
Yep.
that. And it
Yep.
was like my parents.
Then when you find out about the law, you know,
Then it's like,
it's
oh
like,
snap!
yeah,
You
I
can get in
really
trouble
don't
for
want to have my
this.
freedom taken away. you know?
Yeah. In which my dad saved me on that behalf right there.
So my
Oh,
mom saved me on that big time.
yeah, my dad saved me on that one.
Yeah.
I went to go, um, I went to go visit a lady at one time. It was me and her husband were really cool friends. Like we hung out together. It was not a big issue. She always come to my house, and at this one point in time, I was going to go to her house.
Yeah.
And her husband was just getting off work, and we're going to sit back. We're going to have a couple beers. I was going to stay in the guest room. We were just going to sit back and just chill.
Yeah.
Well, they live on a military base.
Oh, okay.
They
Okay.
live on a military base. He was a soldier. Well, okay, let me rewind 30 days or 31 days prior. Okay.
Okay.
I went to go visit a really good friend of mine at the time. And me and this individual, we had an argument. And I was like, all right, cool. I says, I'm just going to let things blow over and I'm going to go home. I'm just going to go home. It's an hour drive. I'm going to drive home, have fun, just sit back, cruise, take the back roads home. Well, as soon as I leave her house, I see a really nice sports car.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, cool. I says, my car is a little modified. Maybe we can have a little fun on the interstate.
Okay.
I get pulled over for street racing.
Oh no.
I get pulled over for street racing. I didn't get no tickets, no nothing.
Oh, you're lucky.
The
That's good.
cop turned around and told me, he says, hey, he says, where do you live at? I says, address is on my license. He says, is this your current license? I said, yes, that's my current license. That's my current address. I said, insurance is up to date and the whole 9 yards. He says, how long is it for you to get home? I says, about 40 minutes. He was like, okay. He says, you have until about midnight to get home. And it was already at like 11:30 at night.
Okay.
He says, you have until midnight to get home. He says, keep it at the speed limit. Don't get pulled over again. All right,
Okay.
cool. Not a big deal. I get home safe, no more issues. No more issues for 31 days. 30 days, actually. No issues for 30 days. Well, went to go see a friend of mine and her husband. Had to go get a security pass to get on base.
Okay.
And they asked me for, my social security number, my driver's license, the whole 9 yards. They come back and said, yeah, your background comes out clean. I said, cool. I says, can I get my driver's license? They were like, no, we got to confiscate it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, what do you mean you got to confiscate my driver's license? Oh, your driver's license are revoked from an issue that you had 31 days ago that an officer revoked your license.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding. So, yeah, I get a ticket driving a vehicle without a license, and it's bad enough that it's on federal ground. So, yeah, I called up my dad, called up my brother, and there was only, in my household, there was only a select few people who can drive a manual. And my dad is one of the people who knows how to drive a manual.
Okay.
And this is 1 o'clock in the morning. But, my dad has always told me, he says, if you're ever in a bind, no matter what time it is, give us a call. I was in a bind.
Yeah.
I was in a bind. I had no way to get home. Because they had an officer in his patrol car actually blocking my car where I couldn't get inside my car to drive off.
Wow.
So I called my dad. My dad goes in there. He gives him the license. He see his license are good. The officer moves the car. Me and my dad go home. We
Oh, dang.
called up my lawyer, and we go to federal court. A judge walk or the my lawyer walks in 5 minutes before the judge calls us my case number. He goes up to the judge. He comes back to me. He says, I need your driver's license. I hand him my new driver's license because apparently my driver's license was eligible for renewal. So I hand him my driver's license. He goes up, comes back, hands my driver's license back. He says, go home. I was just,
Okay.
what? He was just, go home. I was like, okay. So me and my dad, we hop in the truck. We go home. 5 minutes into us going home, the lawyer calls. He says, you're lucky. He said, your son is lucky. I was like, what do you mean I'm lucky? He said, yeah. He says, he says, you were about to serve 6 months to a year in federal prison.
No fucking way.
Yep. I was like, oh. I was just, thank you.
Wow.
I was like, thank you. I was just, what do I owe you? I was just, no, there's no price worth it. I was like, you tell me what do I owe you. He says, $200. I was like, oh shit. Yeah. That's the one time my dad's got me out of trouble, but that's like the biggest time my dad has ever got me out of going to jail. And I thank him for it too, because I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be. I still wouldn't have the same job that I have. I wouldn't have my house. So,
No, I agree. And going to jail, I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's bad when you go apply for a job and be like, why were you in jail? I was driving without a license. That's bad. That is bad. I mean, I can understand, a felony, like a major felony, like a drug charge or something like that, but not a driving violation.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, holy crap. Yeah, you don't want to go to jail for that shit. That's yeah.
I mean, ever since then, I've always been upkeep on my driver's license. I've always been upkeep on my insurance and my registration. I've never let none of that elapse. I never made sure none of that expired or anything like that because that's a privilege. That's a privilege
Yep.
that we have. I mean, it can be easily be taken away. So it's like, yeah, I want to make sure I'm good. I'm good. I don't get pulled over. I mean, yes, I drive a little reckless, but it's yeah, a little. But it's at my own demeanor. It's at my own um judgmental call. Like I'm a defensive driver. Like I'm driving like everybody's out to get me. So I'm staying away from people. So
Yeah.
I mean I speed every now and then. I mean no big deal. How you doing, beautiful? The puppies are outside. They've been outside ever since I got home. Mm-hmm. They're not hurt nobody. They got plenty of free time to run. So I've done some stupid shit. I mean, who hasn't?
Yep.
I mean,
I certainly have.
I mean, I haven't done any major drugs, which I'm
Yeah, I
kind of
haven't either.
thankful that I've done my fair share of weed. I smoked some weed growing up. There's been a couple cases where the weed that I got was not just weed, and it kind of fucked me up, and I stayed away from it. I mean, I I feel the pain that a lot of addicts are dealing with. They can't get off of it. You know, I love to help them in any way, shape, or form that I can do that I can, but I don't know how to help them except for be there. So
Yeah.
I
I'm
think the only
registering on the Texas by Texas app at the moment.
I mean the only major addiction that I had growing up, I think it was in my early 20s, was alcohol.
Okay.
I did I did more drinking than I should have.
Okay. A lot of people do that.
Yeah, yeah, drinking bad enough where I pass out in random locations or pass out at random people or friends that I'm over there, and I'm so drunk that I'm blacked out drunk, and I don't remember what I did that night. So
Okay.
I mean, that's like the hardest thing that I really did. I mean, I think I was like that for a year, year and a half. And I think what really woke me up was one night I got so drunk that I had alcohol poisoning.
Oh,
And ever since then, I don't drink like that anymore.
yeah, I
Um,
understand that.
uh, the last time I was, ooh, really, really drunk was the night me and Mikey was drinking.
Okay.
I drunk
Frankie and I.
I drank a half a bottle of Jaeger by myself, and
Yeah,
I was drunk.
yeah.
Um, Time before that, I think it was my 32nd or 33rd birthday,
Hmm.
and I drunk a 6 pack of ale in
Oh
30
my,
minutes.
oh my.
So, and that was a bad feeling.
Yeah,
So when I drink, it's more like, okay, I got a nice little buzz. I'm gonna keep that buzz for a little bit, and I'm just gonna drop
one
off.
try. Yeah, I don't drink. I never have really. I've had one or two drinks over the years, but my dad basically instilled in me that I don't need alcohol to have a good time.
No, yeah, I mean you don't.
So
I mean, that's like my granddad. I love my granddad to death. Um,
yeah,
I
but I
lost I lost him at an early age. Um, I think he was in his early 70s when he finally went.
I
Um, he shoot, even 18, 19 years old, he drunk a beer a day. And
right.
he said drinking a beer a day, he said it was a cleanser because it cleans out the bladder and all of the and the intestines of uh, bacteria and contamination. So, which knowing my granddad, I believe him. I mean, shoot, he did 22 years, 22 or 25 years in the military.
Oh, okay.
So he did multiple tours in Vietnam. So
Yeah, yeah. My dad was a sergeant major in the Marines.
yeah,
He was a demolitions expert.
my granddad, he was one of the. If I say he was one of the select few, you probably know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I give him all the praise in the world. Him being a Special Force Green Beret Ranger.
Hmm.
So
That's a big deal. A huge deal. My grandpa was in the military too, but I don't know much about it. But he also worked for NASA after he was out. He was a very good and honorable man.
yeah, I mean it's like yeah, speaking about the military, military guys back then were hardcore.
Oh yeah.
They were hardcore. Like
Oh yeah.
they had special training. They had, they were disciplined differently in the military. It's like I got a little brother. He's in the Air Force, and he was telling us stories of his boot camp and his basic and this and that. And both of my granddads were in the military, and they
Yeah.
looked at him. He was this, that's child's play. He said, that's child's
Hmm.
play of what we did. And I'm like, I would love to hear this. And I've asked both my grandpas. I'm like, how was the military? How was war life? And I could see their face going ghost white. I'm like, oh man,
Yep.
I just asked the forbidden question. Oh man, because I know my one granddad. I know he's seen a lot of bloodshed because he was right there in Vietnam, seeing his
Oh
buddies
man.
go, and and him being a medic, it was not good on him.
No, not as a medic.
So
You reminded me. I need to renew my vehicle license, my registration.
Yeah, I got 2 months to do mine, so.
Mine is actually expired just barely,
Mm.
so I forgot. It's okay. I'm renewing it now.
How often you got to renew your license or your registration?
Annually.
Yearly?
Yeah.
Because I know some states they do it bi-yearly.
Well, I'm hoping that they will do it bi-yearly this time because I know some people do.
Yeah. And just like I know there's a select few states out there that um, you don't have to renew your driver's license. It's like as soon as you get your driver's license are yours until you get them revoked over something stupid like a DUI or something like that.
Yeah.
Like where I'm at, you have to renew them every so often, which is to me is kind of bullshit. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, all you're doing is wasting taxpayers' money about going in there and taking a test and having them send you a new driver's license. Just like, eh, just every so often, if you need your driver's license updated, just fill out the form online and have them mail it to your house. But it would be nice. It really would.
I'm just filling out this information so I can get this renewed.
Oh, you good. You good.
That's all. Because I forgot about it. And I want it renewed before I drive up to see her.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
I'm going to be seeing her for her birthday on November 3rd.
Oh, nice. That's that's about a month away.
Yep. But I got to plan for it because I got to do a hotel and all that.
Are y'all in the same state?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we both live in Texas.
Just different cities, basically.
Yes, I live in San Antonio. She lives up north of me about 3 hours.
Okay. Okay. Oh, shoot, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
You got somebody to take care of the pets or anything while you're gone?
Yes. Yes, I have a place that I have. I just have a dachshund.
Okay.
So I have a place that I can drop him off. She wants me to bring him though, but she's got 4 cats. I worry about that, and he's not very well trained.
No, which
So I
makes
worry
sense.
about that too. He's a great little dog. He's very friendly, but he's not house trained. So I don't want to mess up our house.
Hold on, my headset just disconnected at the moment. Give me a sec.
Uh,
Oh, there we go.
yeah, but I want to get this going and paid for online. So if I do get pulled over, I can show the police officer that, yeah, I have actually registered. I'm just waiting for the sticker to come in,
Right, right.
at a minimum.
Uh, Does Texas still have that thing about the tags that if you sell the vehicle, the tags go with the vehicle?
I don't remember. I don't.
Okay.
I think they do, but I don't know.
Because I know years ago That's how it was set up. If you bought a vehicle, the tags go on the vehicle, and if you ever sell it, the tags just gets transferred over to the new owner.
Yeah, I think that is how it is. I'm pretty sure because I had a vehicle, and I'm pretty sure I had to give them the tags when I sold the vehicle or gave the vehicle. I actually gave it away
Right.
to a kid who wanted to work on it and fix it up.
It's just like here, uh, tags are only good on a vehicle for 7 years. At,
Oh,
After 7 years, you have to put new tags on it. You have to turn in your old tags, and you have to get new tags.
yeah, that's not the case here. I've had this vehicle for 7 years. Don't have that issue.
Yeah. Then it was just like years ago. Like I like collect tags of all the vehicles that
Oh,
I've
okay.
ever owned. And
Yeah, that's cool.
on the back of them, I tell them what kind of vehicle it was, especially if it had like sentimental value to me.
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
And like, I dropped the insurance on the Camaro, but I still had tags on it because I wanted to keep the tags because like that was the tags to the Camaro. And I got a letter in the mail like 3 months after I dropped the insurance on it from my state saying that I need to turn in the tags or it was going to be a couple $100 fine.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, oh no, I'm turning these tags in because I don't want that couple $100 fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, I called him up. I'm like, when did this law change? I'm like, I've always been told that I can keep my tags as long as the sticker was removed and the tags weren't being put on another vehicle. I'm like, oh, well, this law was changed, in the past year or so. I'm like, well, that's news to me. So, you doing work, baby?
I'm starting to work.
Mm,
So I'm getting as much as I can done before I go pull up the basketball.
All right, good. I have my trace number, which means I've successfully renewed.
you should get a confirmation email.
I did.
So yeah, keep that confirmation email in a important folder on your email. That way, it's easy to pull up just in case you get pulled over or whatnot.
Yeah.
But they should
Good idea.
send. It depends on the DMV and whatnot. Should send you a new sticker by 7 to 10 days.
It said 15 days here on the app. But
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully I'll get it sooner than that. But yeah, um,
Shut up,
got my
guys.
vehicle registration payment.
By the way, the rod yesterday
I
when
can
it
use
hit
my
my wrist,
receipt as proof of
thank you.
registration for up to 31 days.
The rod hitting my wrist
Good.
yesterday fucked it up.
I'm sorry.
I'm having a red wrist.
I'm sorry, baby.
It's the wrist I broke and it never healed.
Yes.
Right.
Speaking of that, one time I bought the El Camino like around Christmas time, a little before Christmas, and around Christmas time I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna start doing some work to the El Camino. I'm gonna go ahead and put the El Camino in my name because I still have the title. So I turned the title into the DMV, and I'm sitting here waiting, checking the mail daily, checking the mail daily. Title hasn't showed up, or that I've seen in the mailbox. I usually go, a week before I pull anything out of the mailbox because most of it's trash.
Yeah.
And I just so happened, go do a quick glance in the mail. I'm like, oh, this is trash. This is trash. Oh, this is just an old bill. Oh, this is just an old bill. So I threw the mail in the burn pit, in the burn barrel. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, it's all trash. I'm like, I'm still waiting on that title. I'm still waiting on that title. And I'm about to get ready to go out there with some lighter fluid and a match to burn that trash. My dad pulls up, and he pulls up, and my wife goes out there in the burn pit, starts going through the burn pit, and she says, "Baby, guess what I found?" I'm like, "What?" She says, "The title to the El Camino."
Ooh,
I was like, "Oh, thank God."
yeah.
I says, "I was about to light a match to it, and I would have to file for a copy of the title." I'm like, that would have not been good. So luckily, her eyes were better than mine.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I have a screenshot of this registration as well as a printed out receipt of it so I can show the police if they pull me over for expired tags. It'll be just fine.
Sounds good.
I just need to get this all in my car or my. It's a Ford Edge. It's a SUV.
Oh,
I need to
nothing
get
wrong with
this all
that.
down in there.
Nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
I love it. It's been a great car or a great vehicle, I should say. It's 2018. I've got 19,000 miles on it right now.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Nope, because I work from home.
And the only time you really go anywhere is go get groceries or go to the store or something like that. You know, just doctor's
Yeah, pretty
visits
much.
or.
That's pretty much it.
I think I put. Depends on if I'm going to go see if me and the wife go see her family or not. I average out mm, about 12,000 miles a year,
Ah,
which isn't bad. I mean, that's just me going
no, it's
back and
not bad
forth
at
to
all.
work, going to the store, you know, just out and about.
Before I work from home, I've had this car. I bought this car just a little bit after I got my job here where I'm working now. And before when I didn't work from home, I was putting about that on it. Hello,
Hi.
hey
Hey,
babe, how you doing?
Finally awake.
Good. You get some good sleep?
Yeah.
Good.
hey, we were just talking about you.
Yeah, I wanted you to get some sleep.
Yeah, we were just
Yep.
talking. Yep. Just talking about you. He was over there getting things prepped and everything, and getting things ready. And
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm
he's
just
got
here.
water cooler today.
Yeah, but I
That's
didn't
if
go.
you didn't go to it. Oh.
No, I didn't go to it because I was renewing my Texas driver's tags, my registration.
Oh.
So I just got done with that. Got the receipt for that. I did it online, and that can be shown to a police officer for up to 30
Yeah.
days until I get it. So I'm good. Good there. And I got the screenshot of it on my phone too, where I registered.
Mhm.
So nice and easy, all taken care of. So now I shouldn't have any problems driving to you, which I want to
Yay.
make sure of. Can't have any problems there.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, no, I just finished that, and water cooler's been going on for 15 minutes. So I'm just like, yeah, no, I'll just skip it today. It's okay.
Yeah, we just been sitting up here just chatting and chilling and talking and
Yeah, sure have.
a
All
little
sorts of stuff.
tired, but that'll be all right.
Yeah.
And you probably need to go
Yeah,
in
he
there into
worked on it last night.
yeah. I
Ugh. I'll
probably need
have to go get my tea in a minute so I can have my brain juice and go, okay, now I can start today. But
Yeah.
I need to message. Yeah, there we go.
I might need to go in there and take me a little nap. That way I can play some games later on. Go up
That
there and
works.
socialize with civilization.
Yeah, that works.
Pop on me a movie and knock out. It was funny the other night. Me and Disc were over here playing. And me and him were talking. And before I knew it, I was asleep. Propped up in the
Oh,
gaming chair on the computer, just snoring away.
Oh wow.
I think I woke up like an hour later. I'm like, yeah, it's time for me to go to bed.
Yeah, I understand that. I I have a hard time sleeping in a chair. I can do it sometimes, but I do have a hard time with it. What?
If I'm tired, I can go to sleep anywhere.
you're not the only one.
Yeah, she can too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's a good thing.
I fell asleep standing up.
Did you really? I think I've done that in my life.
I don't know how I did it, but I did it.
Oh wow. Sorry, I had something go down my throat the wrong way. Drink.
Oh.
I'm a little bit tired. I've been up since I messaged you, sweetie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of hard to believe.
Yeah.
Early, and I'm like, I'm gonna stay up in case she's up. And then I saw him in here, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go in there and talk. He didn't even know he was in Discord at first.
I'm over
Oh,
here.
dear God.
I was
He
scrolling
forgot
through
he was in
Facebook.
Discord.
Mm-mm.
But we've had good conversation. It's been good.
Okay, where are my two goons? It's been over 8 hours. They should be back.
I don't know.
They were 13 hours yesterday. I was looking to see if there's any way I can shorten that, and I didn't see any settings for it anyway.
The only way you can shorten that is in their actual inventory. Whenever
Yeah.
you're doing the. Yep, here they are. Bird brains back.
Nice. But what were you saying?
Oh!
Yeah, it was like, yeah, their time, to adjust their time is in their, where you send them off at in your throne.
Oh, I've
Um,
seen that. Okay.
uh, you might have it set a little different. Um,
I
or
know we
may,
have
or,
it set where they'll get a lot of resources back.
yeah.
They'll get a lot of money back.
Um, because I remember when the game first came out, um, the max time was actually 1 day. It was 24 hours. So they must have did
Yeah.
a update on the game and actually shortened it to 16 hours.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because I looked
Mm-hmm.
everywhere and I didn't see anything that controlled that time. Now there may be something that's just not an AMP because we're using AMP to manage the server.
Right.
There may be something in the config files to do it, but I
Okay,
didn't.
guys, I gotta go for about a while again.
All right, sweetie.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna hop off, get me some sleep, call it a
Okay.
day. Well, call it a morning rather.
Yeah. Well, that'll work. We'll be around.
All right,
I'll
sounds
talk to
good.
you later when you wake up
All right,
or
sounds
whenever
good.
you're ready.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it was good chatting with you, though.
Oh, good chat with you too. I love the company.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Yeah, thank you.
No problem, no problem. I'll catch y'all later on.
All right. Yep. You take it easy.
You
Sleep
too.
well.
I will.